Welcome to Barrel Brothers, and today we're on the mighty Sunny Truck. Stay tuned. We've been doing my holiday project has been the Sunny Truck, and we've been doing a bit of work on it. What sort of work? Well, that is an A12. That is an A15. So we're actually ready for a startup. I'm just waiting for Shannon to come over and give me a hand sorting out the timing, the base timing for the R3, for the Haltech, and then it's going to need a bit of tuning because this one is a bit different. It's 300 cc's bigger. It's a 1.5 litre instead of 1.2. It has 10.5:1 compression pistons, which the starter motor is noticing, as I've turned it over a couple of times. It has a 3770 cam in it, so yeah, we've got that as well. And well, the head was already port matched and everything. It's got the big valve head in it, the H89 head. So there was previously on this little sucker. So what are we doing here? Well, I'm going to button that one up so it's a viable engine, a new head gasket, and put this head back on and sort everything out so she's ready to go. But she served me well, the little A12. It's a great little engine. And there's nothing wrong with it. Typical Nissan A series, there's nothing wrong with it. So we'll button that up, new head gasket, do all the clearances, so if needs be and I happen to blow the A15 up, God forbid, we can just slot this little guy straight back in. I've just finished it, so there's various tools strewn about the place. Lots of stuff. And the bench. I think this might be my next job. Tidy all this stuff up. And my U-boot sheet of sizes of torque settings. Yeah, I'll do a bit of a clean up before Shannon gets here, so I don't embarrass myself. The A15 has caught me out in a couple of places. It is taller, so the extractors were contacted in the bottom of the floor, so we've had to do a little bit of a heat and bend underneath there. It may not be far enough. We'll know once we get it started up and it's actually rocking around. The clutch, you either run the A series clutch and flywheel and pressure plate, or you run the A12 or the A15. I had a brand new throwout bearing. I forgot to put that in on the way through. So anyway, it doesn't matter. A lot of people on the forum were saying that it could also be a problem with the clutch fork and the throwout bearing, but that seems to be fine. If I put it in gear and I rock it back and forward, you can feel it's in gear, but if I put my foot on the clutch, it rolls freely, so I'm hoping that's going to be okay. So, and just stuff in slightly different places, how this thing had been done. Yeah. But yeah, it's all there, and it looks like it's ready to go. So I'm crossing my fingers. I think we should be okay. Why am I taking this off? Because I forgot to hook up the throttle cable. This runs a, let's just pull that out of there. This is actually a fly-by-wire system. And one of the reasons that I picked this system, this thing here, which hooks up to a potentiometer, doesn't actually hook up to the throttle. So if you turn this, you'll notice the throttles don't move. That makes it all self-contained. So the beauty of that is that runs over to the Haltech over here, and that runs back to this here, which actuates the throttle. There's your throttle, the TPS, throttle position sensor there. So everything that you need, and all the injectors are there, and everything is there. This is why I picked that system, because it's everything's self-contained. It's off a 2009 to 2012, I think it is, Yamaha R6. Now for the A12, they're actually a little bit big at 42mm throttles. I'll check that though. But for the A15, they should be bang on, which is another reason that I picked them. I know I had a lot of people say, well, you know, you're getting them off a 600cc bike and you're putting them on a 1200cc. Yeah, they're a bit of a different, the 600s, I think they rev to like 12 or 18 grand or something stupid. This revs to 6. So they ingest a lot more air. The other thing that that throttle has is extendable trumpets on it, which I could have done, but it just would have made the job a lot harder, so we went without that. Oh, the other thing that I've done is we've gone with a 6-blade fan. Previously I couldn't get it to clear the air conditioning compressor because this is a factory aircon car. So what I've done is, because I ended up with 3 fans, I took the like 3 fans. I've got the 6-blade and 2 4-blades because one came with the A15. I actually machined the hub down. God, I love lathes. And there's my spacer adapter there. So yeah, so that's nice now, nice and close to the radiator, which will improve efficiency, and it's 6 blades and it clears the aircon. So that should be a lot better. Bond. James Bond.
Here we go. Party time.
Hey?
Here we go. Party time.
Okay. It's about 13 degrees advanced. Man, it sounds different. So she lives, folks. Sounds happy enough. A little bit of a lopey idle, maybe too low, I don't know. What do you reckon, boss? The what?
Vacuum for them to you. Was that like vacuum?
Yeah, here it is here. It's plugged. Ah, yeah, it's not plugged in. Oh, not bad. I only missed one thing, the vacuum. There you go. There you go. So far, I've missed one thing. Count them. 1.
All right, now we're cooking.
Now we're cooking. It lives. Oh, it's the only problem with this thing. It bloody drops down and it stops going plop plop. We're going to have a bit of a fiddle with it. I'll turn this off for the time being. Check this out.
All the time.
Alright, so I thought I might take you for its first drive. Well, not its first drive. It's been around the block a couple of times while Shannon put a bit of a program. Well, we just sort of tickled up the program that was already in there for the A12. This is a very different beast. We have a couple of issues. One, we've got no air conditioning, which is a bit of a drama. Because the crankcase breather stuck out further and actually curved upwards, I had to unhook the air conditioning line that comes through the firewall down here, and then hook it back up. So all the gas has escaped. And it's got a little bit of a throttle issue. When it's cold, it hangs up on the throttle. I'm gonna have to drive with the window down. I am very sorry, and the vent open. What else? I did have a coolant leak overnight after I shut it down. Came back in the morning, it had a puddle underneath it, so I started it up and just warmed it up. Turned out to be the old JDM radiator cap that was put on in Japan way back when, in like 2017. So it's done pretty sterling duty. So I'll put a new one on. Let's get underway anyway. It's still on the cam running hours. I've got to do it for about 2 hours apparently. As you can see, it's quite a bit more. See, it's holding the throttle there. I don't know why it's doing that, but see if you go. Give it a stab and it buttons back off. I don't know why at this stage of the game it's hanging up on something. So I can't give it the full berries. It's been running for about an hour. I've got 1 more hour to go. And there it is, hanging up again. It's got 1 more hour to go. So yeah, I don't know till when. It's a lot barkier than the A12. A lot quicker on the throttle. That's 4 and a bit. I did the valve lash again this morning. So I did it cold yesterday, and then I did it hot yesterday again after we'd done the bit of a drive around in the mild tune. I don't know why that throttle's hanging up. I mean, the only difference from yesterday is I've put a return spring on it. So why would that make it hang up? I don't know. But it's quite happy to turn the back tyres around roundabouts and stuff. I mean, it's a 700 and what? We had it on the scales at the drags, and it was 780 kilos with a full tank of, half a tank of fuel. So that's not too bad because it's they're quoted from factory as 760. The long wheelbase ones are slightly longer. Slightly longer. Of course they're slightly longer. They're a long wheelbase. Slightly heavier. The standard one's like 720. Yeah, so we'll just plug away at it at the moment. It's got a low P idle. The throttle's having a little bit of trouble. And it's flipping up and down trying to control that. But Shannon had a bit of a play with that yesterday. So we'll drive it home. This is the plan. Drive it home. Looks like we might be going to get some weather, which is good for me because it's hot in here. Well, it's hot everywhere. It's Australia in summer. So yeah, we'll just drive it home and see how she goes, or drive it back in tomorrow, make sure it doesn't have any leaks and everything's okay, and then yeah, what Shannon wants to do is change the injectors over to some we've got some info on. I mean, this is still the original motorbike wrecker injectors that came with the throttles. Clutch is a bit the new clutch is a bit heavier. Seems to go pretty well. I don't know what sort of top end it's got at the moment because I can't go there. But I think by the time we drive it home tonight, yeah, the throttle's just hanging all the time. I've only got it. I didn't make a bracket up for it because I didn't know if it needed it or not. But it's hanging all the time now. So look, put foot on the clutch. That's nearly 3,000. So, see if it just buttons off by itself. No, down to 2 and it's not going any lower. So basically doing that up to about 4.5 is getting it just onto the cam. It's not actually, yeah, we're gonna have to cut that. That's hopeless. But anyway, we'll get it home like this. Have a bit of a fiddle with it when it cools down. Get rid of that spring, because it wasn't doing this yesterday. Actually, it might turn it around, go back to the factory and fix that now, because that's hopeless. Look at that, feet's off the throttle. Okay, let's try this again. So, it was hanging up in the revs, and the only thing I've changed since yesterday was the throttle return spring to pull the throttles closed. Just to give it a little bit more oomph under the pedal, but it didn't like that, so I was trying to pull against the throttle, I guess, against the return spring. So it's not too bad. It's softer than it used to be. It's quite a bit more hectic. And as I said before, with these light wheels, light rear end, take foot slow off the throttle and it just does what it's supposed to do. So all right, that's how we're going to run it. No return spring. I mean, it's got a return spring on it anyway, but it was sort of designed for a rider's hand rather than my big hoofy foot. I might have to do the next MCM skid pan, because this will be hilarious. The biggest problem this has on the skid pan is my front wheels are too wide. So they get, when it goes around a full lock, they jam up on the inside of the guard. It's much more of a circuit racer. This is really good. And I can't even give it the berries yet. Like, it's the cam sort of starts at about 4, I think, and it should go out to about 7 grand thereabouts. That's the rev range for it. So I haven't gone over 5 yet. This is a little bit out. This is out by about 200 RPM. So from what we've seen, looking at it yesterday, what I'm seeing on the tacho and what Shannon, when he was sitting here, was seeing on the computer, that's the difference. But it looks like we might get a bit of weather. That could be interesting. Oh, at least we got good tyres on it now. The old tyres were just, I mean, the A12 spun them up at about 40 kilometers an hour in third gear on the freeway. So yeah, and it was raining, but it wasn't pissing down. But yeah, it's going very well. I'm quite happy with this. We'll have to give Isaac a bit of a, he did the tune on it last time. We're going to let Shannon do it this time, but yeah. It's definitely more spicy than it was. It's amazing what 300cc's can, different 300cc's can make. The A15s were actually built for the, what do they call it? It's like a little van, Nissan Vanette. Nissan Vanette. So it was a lugger, like 8.5 to 1 compression, dish pistons and whatnot. So it's got quite a bit more compression now. And it's got the cam so it can make it work. And it's got all the breathing gear. So up top end, it should really bloody sing. You're still wandering around, but 1200's coming down a little bit now. I know Shannon, I had the idle set at about 700. I think Shannon put it up with this cam. It's not happy down there. I don't know if he's changed the throttle mech. It seems very touchy to the throttle, so I might go back in and have a look, see if he's changed it. Last time he had a bit of a fiddle around with it, he changed the throttle. He likes to have a stabby throttle. I like it smooth in traffic because I'm driving a lot of traffic. So I don't know if he's changed anything or it's just the nature of this engine is more, it's much more barky than the old one. But it seems to be you just sort of touch this and it leaps. So just there. That's 5th gear. And it's pulling that real easily. Yep, the throttle as it gets, it's much noisier than the A12. It's a lot noisier than the A12, even with this big head on it. The H89 head on the A12 was never this noisy on the intake. But yeah, it's got a real bart to it now, so yeah. This is actually quite a bit of fun. A few spots of rain on the window. That's just onto the cam, just onto the cam. But with the driving we do today, it means we should have like on one of these OCD people, somebody says avoid high revs for first 2 hours. I'm like, okay, we're at 2 hours, so that's how I am. It's certainly got quite a bit more power. So it had, what did we get? The most we got on the A12, even with this head, was 50.4 horsepower. So I'm hoping for about 70 with this one. But it's interesting reading the comments when I put it up on my Facebook page. They're like, hey, how come the A12 didn't make more than 50 horsepower? Mine did, it made 100. Standard. Bullshit. I'm afraid, sir. Yeah, it's faster, it's definitely faster, and it definitely has more power, which you can hear. So lots of people, I've had a few people say like, my setup on an A15, similar setup on an A15, punched out 100 horsepower at the rear wheels. 100 horsepower on this thing would be pretty snarky. I don't know, we haven't tried out the top end. You haven't really got it up on the cam yet, where the cam works happily. But that's the thing, we're not into dyno numbers anyway. The idea, all the idea of being this all the way through, we want an NA A series, and we just want to make it like up to date. The thing's got cruise control, it's got air conditioning. We just want to make it more drivable. You had to push the like the 1200 fairly hard to go anywhere. This is doing it like, whereas like I would have used full throttle quite a lot in the A12, I'm not using it in this, I don't need to. And with the efficiency of breathing and all that sort of stuff that it's got, should be a pretty fun thing. So you're going to go through the orange? Oh, he is too. Through the red. Good on you, mate. We'll see what that idle does now. So it's 1500, dropping. So that's about 1300, 1200. Should settle down to about 1000. Just takes us time getting there. Yeah, it's sitting on about 1000 now. That's when it starts to do its lopey stuff. Now, we're going to be set here at the lights for a little bit. Here, doing this lopey idle thing. Ooh, Statesman. Statesman. Shit. Bit over 5 that time. Yeah, I could feel the rear end wanting to go around the corner there in second, so... Whoop. Nice hole in the road there. I need to redo these front wheels too to get my bring my track in a little bit, to, get my steering a little bit better. This has definitely got a lot more power. Well, I mean, it should have 10.5 to 1 pistons. Let's wind that window up. 10.5 to 1 pistons and a 3770 cam, plus the trumpets and all the throttles and fuel injection and everything. Let's try the cruise. There's cruise control. Should be fairly fuel efficient too, because it'll just grumble along at these revs like all day, every day. That's what, 3,000? Just over 3,100 at just under 100 Ks. But yeah, got here fairly easily. So cruise down this bit. I got my favourite cruise control check. I mean, it should be good. I did a lot of work on the cruise control trying to get it better, and then I changed something. The problem that it had was it'd go up over a rise and then hang on to the throttle on the other side. So I wonder if that was the return spring. That's burbling along quite nicely there. It's quite happy. Hear all that wind noise? It's these rain guards. Take them off and it's a lot quieter. But like, you got to be cool. I can't do my cruise thing because I've got a guy in front of me, so and a guy beside me. See, it's still got that noise too. That you hear that? So the weird thing is that maybe it's the angle of the diff, because I've lowered it. Could be. Right, because I've changed everything all the way through. I haven't changed the unis, so it could be just a little bit of a screwy uni. But I put a new spigot bush in the back of the engine, Gearbox has got new bearings all the way through it, and it did it on both gears. This is the third gearbox, still makes that noise. I've changed the center bearing, that's brand new. I don't know what that noise is. Jeez, look at that. It just leaned on the throttle. And it really wants to go. Let's put the cruise back on. Wow, you've come along for the ride for the first drive. It's pretty good, gotta say. I wonder what it's like. It's going to be like over $5,000 tomorrow on the way back in. Give it a shot. Once we get to work, after we get back to work, because this is about a 35-minute. Drove it around for about an hour yesterday. So it's been about an hour and 35 when I finished this drive. So crank the speed up a bit. I've got this set so every time you hit it, it's 2 kph. There we go. Yeah. We're not doing 116. We're doing about 110 according to this. That's just full of it. Might have an exhaust leak. I can smell exhaust fumes. We'll turn that vent off and see what happens. Mind you, it could have been that truck too. So we'll have to do all of this checking tomorrow. We'll need to check the exhaust manifold, make sure there's no leaks there, because there's only one joint. It's at the manifold, or it's like underneath the seat about here. So that's the difference. That's the only joint, so it's the only place it can be leaking from. Used to be with the 1200cc engine. At this speed, you'd knock it back to fourth and put your foot flat to the floor, and it'd just make more noise. It wouldn't actually go any faster. And if you put your foot flat to the floor in top gear, it didn't go any faster. But you put your foot flat to the floor on this one, and yeah, it's definitely got more power, quite a bit more power. So 70 kilowatts, cross me fingers. Let's be conservative, because so many people say, it should make 150, 200 kilowatts. No. Horsepower, 70 horsepower. Made 50. Now I think we've got I can still smell exhaust fumes. So we'll wind the window down and close the vent. That's better. Right, so we'll have to check that manifold. How's temperature's good. All lights have got no red lights, anything. It's just cruised along quite nicely, quite happily. Someone going slow on the right-hand lane. What's a JQ? Looks like an Audi rip-off. Yeah, feel that. I'll have a look at that throttle mapping. So that's about 5 mil. Not even that. Resume. I love this truck. Hello, what have we got here? Ford Falcon. They're heading down to Summernats. I hope, Jade, by the time you see this, that will be well over. I need to find the instructions for this thing so I can turn the beep. I've got the beeper setting off to if it hits 116 on that, the beep goes off. Shut up. What a cool little truck. This is almost the final iteration of it. That was always the plan. A15 with all the quad throttles and everything. Well, it'd be interesting to see how it goes on petrol. We've still got, Shannon still wants to change the injectors over to something that we've got data. As I said before, these throttles, I bought them from a motorcycle wrecker. The reason I chose these ones is they're all self-contained, even the throttle potentiometer, so you don't have to put some silly plastic throttle inside. You just run a throttle cable to it. So yeah, that's a good thing about it. This is going up hills, it's not even trying. I'm pretty happy, I've got to say, I'm pretty happy with it. It's doing a little bit of, at the moment. Kind of needs a steeper hill. There's no decent hills around here. There's some good ones near home. Stinky. I think we've got an exhaust leak. So this is the morning after the night before. Just give it a bit of a serve up the hill. So blasting along, yeah, I've got some exhaust fumes, so I'm going to have to check that exhaust manifold up against the head, make sure everything's sealed up, because something's leaking somewhere. I can smell it, because it's not coming from down there. It's pretty quick. It doesn't like changing gear at those high revs. Who would have thunk it? But yeah, so we're on the way to work to fix up a couple of little niggles, and then we'll go from there. So what happens to the old A series? Well, despite putting out double the power that it originally had when we had it, look at this. This is like brand new. It's a typical A series, isn't it? I really like A series engines. I mean, obviously it's been running a bit rich, which we know about. We're making moves to fix that up. The A15 seems to run less rich, mainly because it's got more capacity, I suppose. But we leaned it off a little bit. But yeah, so the plan with this little guy is to like put a new head gasket, put the head back on, like and put it all back together. So she's ready to fight another day if it ever comes up. If I ever blow the A15 up, which is like it's an A series, so it's unlikely. But yeah, what a great little engine. And on that note, thanks for watching Barrel Brothers. Like and subscribe, and as always, don't do anything stupid. See you next time.